In the South China Sea, Scarborough Shoal is once again the center of a dangerous international dispute. This atoll, just 120 nautical miles from the Philippines, is both a vital fishing ground and a strategic choke point for global trade. For generations, Filipino fishermen have depended on its waters, but its significance now extends far beyond economics. China claims the shoal as part of its territory, clashing directly with the Philippines' internationally recognized exclusive economic zone. The result, a volatile standoff, with Chinese Coast Guard and militia vessels maintaining near constant control since 2012, often harassing Philippine ships. Scarborough Shoal has become a test of international law and national resolve, with both countries seeing it as a matter of pride and power. The recurring clashes here are about more than fishing. They're about the future of the regional order and the rules that govern our seas. On August 11, 2025, a routine Philippine patrol near Scarborough Shoal escalated into chaos. The BRP Suluan, a lone Philippine Coast Guard vessel, was quickly pursued by larger Chinese ships. Tensions spiked as a Chinese Coast Guard ship fired a water cannon at the Suluan, while a Chinese Navy destroyer dangerously cut in front of it. In a stunning miscalculation, the destroyer's abrupt maneuver caused a collision with its own Coast Guard ship. The crash left both Chinese vessels damaged, while the BRP Suluan escaped unharmed. This incident, caught on video, exposed the risks of China's aggressive tactics in the South China Sea. What began as a routine patrol became a dramatic confrontation, highlighting how quickly tensions can spiral out of control. The self-inflicted damage to China's ships underscored the dangers of brinkmanship in these contested waters. In the aftermath, China swiftly blamed the Philippines, ignoring video evidence of its own ship's aggression. Beijing accused the BRP Suluan of illegal entry and dangerous maneuvers, demanding Manila pay for the damages to Chinese vessels. This bold demand was a calculated move to pressure the Philippines and shift blame. China's strategy, deflect responsibility, muddy international opinion, and reinforce its claim of absolute authority in the South China Sea. The demand for damages was less about money and more about asserting dominance and deterring future Philippine patrols. The Philippines flatly rejected China's accusations and demands, standing firm with clear video evidence and international law on its side. Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson Commodore J. Tariela dismantled China's claims, highlighting the reckless conduct of Chinese vessels. He called the collision a learning experience for China, reframing the incident as a consequence of Beijing's own tactics. Manila's refusal to pay was a powerful assertion of sovereignty and a public stand against Chinese pressure. This defiance sent a clear message: the Philippines would not be intimidated or forced to surrender its maritime rights. The world took notice. Key allies quickly rallied behind the Philippines, condemning China's actions. The U.S. ambassador to Manila called out China's recklessness and reaffirmed America's commitment to defend the Philippines under their mutual defense treaty. Japan, Australia, and New Zealand echoed these concerns, emphasizing the need for a rules-based maritime order. Japan's ambassador warned against actions that escalate tensions, while Australia and New Zealand condemned China's dangerous conduct. This united response transformed the incident from a bilateral dispute into a global issue. The Philippines was no longer standing alone. A coalition of democratic nations was pushing back against unilateral attempts to change the status quo. The message was clear: upholding international law in the South China Sea is a shared priority. The U.S. military responded swiftly, deploying 2 warships near Scarborough Shoal just days after the collision. The USS Higgins conducted a freedom of navigation operation, sailing within 13 miles of the shoal to challenge China's claims. These operations assert the right of all nations to navigate international waters, not to take sides in territorial disputes. China claimed to have expelled the U.S. ship, but the U.S. Navy refuted this, stating the mission was completed as planned. The American warships were closely shadowed by Chinese vessels, underscoring the high stakes of these encounters. The FONOP sent a clear message. The South China Sea is not a Chinese lake, and the US will defend freedom of navigation. The world was watching as tensions played out on the water. At the heart of the dispute is the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, which both China and the Philippines have ratified. In 2016, an international tribunal ruled overwhelmingly in favor of the Philippines, invalidating China's sweeping claims. China rejected the ruling and continues to act as if it has no legal force, fueling ongoing tensions. The recent collision also violated basic maritime safety rules, further highlighting China's disregard for international norms. The future of Scarborough Shoal remains uncertain, with both sides showing no sign of backing down. The August 11th incident is a stark reminder of how easily miscalculation can lead to crisis. The world now waits to see if diplomacy can prevail, or if this flashpoint will ignite a broader conflict in the region.